So for other modulation schemes, we know that we are left with two more parameters. One is amplitude and phase, sorry, amplitude and frequency. We'll cover one by one. The next would be amplitude shift key. In short, it is known as ASK. In some literature, this is also regarded as PAM, pulse amplitude modulation. Okay. Since we should be inconsistent with other bandpass modulation schemes, we usually regard it as ASK, or probably we can also replace with equivalently as PAM. Right. So very similar to the approach towards PSK. We started off with binary PSK. We can also have the simplest scheme that is possible called as binary ASK. So this was one of the earliest forms of digital modulation scheme, which was used in radio communications. So binary ASK was used probably a century back. Okay, but it's no more is used in any of our wireless communication. Okay, anyway, for wireless communication, it's obvious that we need to resort to the spectral efficient modulation schemes, as amplitude shift keying techniques will is not spectrally efficient, but it's not so spectrally efficient as compared to other popular modulation schemes which will be dealt in this course. Anyway. So symbol mapping is the first thing that we should start with. A similar approach. Once you have understood BPSK, we'll go with the similar approach for all other schemes. The symbol mapping, where incoming bit streams were mapped onto some symbol AN. Say, since it's binary, only two bits, 1 and 0, and you can represent 1 as root plus root EB as one amplitude. Since I need to vary the amplitude of the pulse, I can give negative amplitude for a binary 0. Or you can give 0 itself, no pulse. Okay, some pulse or 0 pulse for binary 1 and 0 respectively. So such scheme, if I use say amplitude of unity and no amplitude for binary 0, such schemes are popularly known as on-off keying schemes, or in short, they are called as OOK. So these are the schemes which are mostly used in optical communications. Okay, so when there is on, when there is symbol or bit 1, you will switch on the laser, or when there is no bit or bit 0, you will turn off the laser, and so on. Okay, so this OOK is one of the most simplest case earlier used in even in optical communications. Anyway, so we see that this is one of the similar schemes with what we have dealt in phase shift keying. So this scheme is similar to BPSK, as you can see. Correct. So we need not dwell deeper into this scheme, because all the parameters that we would be discussing would be in similarity with BPSK scheme. So we will drop binary ASK at this point, stating that this will perform very similar to BPSK. Okay, so for the higher order, if I try to move with the higher order, say with similar to QPSK, if I try to group 2 bits into one symbol, so we can call such scheme as 4 ASK, or we can also call it as 4 PAM. Okay, so symbol mapping could be of different nature, but as I said, the choosing of modulated signal is at our hand. So I'll choose one such symbol mapping. Okay, say I'll group 2 bits now, 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. You can also take a gray coding scheme of encoding these bits That's totally fine. Say I'll say this as plus root EB, and I'll say give thrice of root EB, and this for minus root EB and minus 3 root EB. We can give any other, there are so many options that are available with us. We can give some random, amplitudes as well. But this kind of mapping will give us, more analysis in a mathematical way. I'll try to address that. Anyway, so what would be the modulated signals? Obviously, what would be our basis function? How many basis functions would be there?
Just the one.
Yeah, that will be just one in case of 4 PAM. So the basis function, I'll write that first, then we'll go with modulated signal. The basis function
So,
would
sir,
be,
any PAM would have just one basis
yeah,
function.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, so the basis function will be simply root 2 over TB cos 2 pi FCT. Okay, so why this root over 2 over TB? Please go back and check.
Unit amplitude of carrier.
Exactly, that's perfect. Right, so we have addressed that already. Please, anyway, I have not posted the videos. I'll be doing that shortly, but that meaning is carried from that lecture. Anyway, so here we'll assume this carrier phase to be 0 for simplicity, because we are not changing anything with the carrier phase, and hence we can just disregard that kind of information just for sake of simplicity. Okay, so all our modulated symbols S1 of t and S2 of t, S3 of t and S4 of t can be represented in terms of basis function in a very simple fashion. So this will be simply root times EB times phi of t. This will be minus, sorry, what we have taken here. We have taken this as plus 3 root EB phi of t. This is minus root EB phi of t, and this will be minus 3 root EB phi of t. Yeah, with this we can straight away write the constellation diagram. Yeah, and after that we'll move on to the most generic case of M-array. Yeah, constellation diagram, as I was mentioning and also mentioned by Harsh, that this would be just one dimensional case. Okay, so if I call this as 0 as the reference, okay, let us call this as 0, and this is your phi of t function, and your symbol S1, which is plus root EB, okay, and S2, that is plus root 3B. Okay, if I call this S1, S2, and this will be your S3, which is at minus root EB, and S4 at minus root 3, or minus 3 root EB will be the locations of all the symbols. So we have set this as 0, 0, 0, 1, and S3 as 1, 0, and 1, 1. Yeah, you can take any order. You can start with S4 as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. That's up to you. So it doesn't harm anything with the performance of the system overall. Okay, just the representation that one way of representation that we have used. Okay, so with that, basic understanding of higher order, one higher order of PAM, pulse amplitude modulated signal, we will continue with the generic case with M-array ASK, or we call it as M-array PAM, and popularly these schemes are known as M-PAM systems. Yeah, so as it was mentioned correctly, there would be only one basis function irrespective of the value of m cos 2 pi fct. And what would be the constellation? How it would look like? We'll try to draw that constellation.
So root 2 by TS, right?
Oh, that's correct. That's right.
I think the same as in the previous as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Probably, yeah. Yeah, I should correct this to TS. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so this EB also had to be changed to ES anyway. So I'll keep that as it is right now, but we'll change accordingly, for Emery PAM or MPAM. Okay, so with respect to the constellation, so again, this would be just a one-dimensional case. All will fall on just an x-axis, if I want to say in that fashion. So this is phi of t. So if I call say this as center 0, the symbols S1 to Sm, okay, all these symbols will lie S1, S2, and say here, and on the left hand side, somewhere here, I'll call this as S1, S2, and so on. Or you can start with this symbol and start say S1 and up to Sm. It doesn't harm anything with the representation. But what I'm looking forward here is the location on the x-axis. So this is located at root ES, and of course this is located at minus root ES. And for 4 PAM, we have seen this is located at 3 root ES, and obviously this is also located at minus 3 root ES. What would be the location of the last symbol here on the right hand side of origin? This would be
M plus 1. Not M minus 1, M plus 1.
M minus, right? So
M
for
plus
M is
1.
M is equal to 4. For 4 PAM, we had 3 root ES.
Yes, but okay.
Correct? Yeah. So for M is equal to 8, if you say, it will go up to 7 root ES. So there will be root 3S, 5 root ES, and 7 root ES on the right hand side. Similarly, on the left hand side for 8 symbols. For 8 PAM in that case. Anyway, so this will also be.
So if you were to take 8 PAM, then we would have 5 root ES as the third on the right side.
Correct. And
so that
one
is
more,
M by 2 plus 1.
No. We will also have 7 root ES. 4 on
In
the right
8
and
PAM.
4 on the left. In 8 PAM.
Oh,
Yeah, 4
right.
on the.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason we have adopted such kind of representation for representing the Emery PAM. Even in case of 4 PAM, we could have taken. We had a freedom of choosing any amplitudes, but to make it more generic and more simple, we have chosen. We have resort to this kind of representation. But anyway, nevertheless, in both simple binary ASK as well as for 4 PAM, you see that there is no signal energy or signal level at the origin. So we have not taken anything or any symbol represented with zero energy case here. So, for 4 PAM system, sorry, yeah, please don't mind that. If I say 0, I would have taken say something like amplitude 1, amplitude 2, and amplitude 3. Even this could have been my 4 PAM system. Okay, for bit 0, I would have given just 0, and bit for for this could be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. This could also be one of the cases with 4 PAM systems. So the basic idea behind not representing any symbol as 0 in case of pulse amplitude modulation is that for long streams of 0, 0, 0, and say if there are 10 bits which are coming or generated by the information source, the transmitter will
DC
not be.
wander.
Yeah, there will be just DC, or there would be no signal that could be transmitted. So that will affect a lot. I mean, even in the case of receiver, it will not understand correctly where it is actual 0 or if it is corrupted by the noise and the signal is degraded to 0. So such cases would happen in case of PAM modulated schemes, and hence we try to avoid that. And of course, as you mentioned, probably to symmetrically distribute all the symbols across the origin, we resort to such representation. Okay. Nevertheless, the minimum Euclidean distance, you'll not understand its importance right now. You'll see, probably in starting of unit 2. Anyway, so what is the minimum Euclidean distance between any set of symbols?
2 times root ES.
Yes, that's correct. So this is minimum distance that is possible. Of course, ES is a symbol energy, and we'll try to calculate the average energy per symbol. Average energy per symbol, as we have done with the PSK, that we divide the total energy with the number of symbols. So number of symbols is m here. So and you see that what is the energy of each symbol there in this constellation, as constellation will help us to find out such parameters. Say on the right hand side, what is the energy?
ES, ES, 9 ES,
and so on
then
and
yeah,
so on, right? Yeah. So on the left hand side also I will get the same values.
twice.
Correct?
You can say
Yeah,
twice.
twice of it. So 1 by m, twice of energy of all the symbols on either side. So I'll take this as root ES whole square, okay, and 3 root ES whole square, and up to uh,
M
m minus
minus 1.
1, yeah, root ES the whole square. Yeah. To simplify this, so this is twice over m, and this is simply 1 square ES plus 3 square ES up to m minus 1 square ES. Of course, I could have taken ES outside to ES over m. So this is simply square of sum of square of all the odd numbers. Okay, m minus 1 the whole square. And based on your series, the knowledge of the series, 1 square plus 3 square up to m minus 1 square can be written as m into m square minus 1 over 6. Okay, so this implies the average energy of the symbol is simply ES times m square minus 1, m gets cancelled, over 3. Okay, and since ES is known to be k times EB, where k is log m base 2, we can write average energy of the symbol as EB times log m base 2 times m square minus 1 over 3. Similar with respect to the MRE PSK, we can also find out average energy per bit. Okay. That is simply represented as average energy per bit. It is simply average energy per symbol over k. Okay, so whatever value that you have, just divide over that. So where log m base 2 also is k, so this happens to be simply, I can say this as EB times m square minus 1 over 3. Okay, there are so many forms of representing this, but one relation, if you are aware, that should be more than enough. We'll also calculate the Parr spectral density. Okay. The Parr spectral density, to calculate that, we should know this modulated signal. In general, the PAM signal, okay, can be represented as, say, S of t. We can represent this as summation k1 to m ak times g of t minus ktb. What is g of t? You have seen that in case of PSK. G
Pulse
of
shape
t,
function.
yeah, it's a pulse shaped. It's a rectangular t over tb. This we will take it as nrz polar. Correct? I mean, it will not be nrz polar. It will become polar when you multiply with plus or minus ak. So plus A and minus A is kind of a polar scheme. Okay, but you can just take it as an enlarged scheme. It's just a pulse. And the AK is in general represented as some amplitude A times 2k minus 1 minus m, where k varies from 1 to m. And finally, we need to calculate this per spectral density, which is 1 over symbol duration Ts times S of f. So 1 over Ts, very similar to the previous approach. So this is simply the magnitude of the g of f the whole square times the autocorrelation function of AK.
Summation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I
it'll
mean,
be
yeah,
k equal to 0 only.
exactly. So since for independent symbols, it will exist only at k is equal to 0, and for I'll write that for independent symbols R of or the autocorrelation function of AK will exist only at k is equal to 0. And we know that it's summation AK e power minus j2 pi f ktb. So it will exist only at k is equal to 0. So there will not be any exponential factor. So with that, it will exist only at k is equal to 0 in the sense, what do you mean by that? Say in case of this constellation, the autocorrelation of this symbol, say S1, with itself is what? Just the product of its amplitude, which is root ES
Yeah,
into root ES. It is,
root, yes.
yes, it's ES itself. But in our case, we have taken its amplitude to be A. Okay, that's only the difference. We have taken this amplitude to be A, so that what will this be? It will be A square plus 3 square A square plus 5 square A square, and so on. Okay, up to m minus 1 square A square. Okay, and that will happen for both left and right. That will be your autocorrelation function. And obviously we know that this is twice of m times m square minus 1 whole divided by 6, of course, with times A square. With this all known factors, we can write power spectral density of M-PAM systems as what is magnitude of g of f the square, which is your the Fourier transform of rectangular function that we know
Ts
times sin square of ts.
single, yeah.
Yeah, so that's ts square, so sin square of ts times this factor twice of a square times m into m square minus 1 whole divided by 6. So if you cancel out, you have the terms. What you will be left with for TSD for M-PAM system is that a square, 1 TS gets cancelled, so there will be TS in the numerator, and of course M times M square minus 1 whole by 3 times sin square FTS. If you try to observe the relation, or if you try to compare PSD of M-PAM and PSD of MPSK systems, both are very similar to each other. Both have the term of sin square FTS, but one has a different amplitude for different levels of M, and another has different values. Only the magnitude of the sin square functions are different. Okay, so otherwise the crossovers or the nulls would be at the same point. So as far as the bandwidth is concerned, the both will occupy the similar amount of bandwidth. Okay, of course, where Ts is k times Tb and Ts is k times. Correct. So this would be the closure of M-PAM systems. So we need to increase, still we need to increase the spectral efficiency, whose meaning will be more clear once we discuss one of the famous or popular modulation scheme, which is used in all wireless standards. Probably in your wireless routers at your homes, you'll be using something as QA, quadrature amplitude modulations.